Selling children's books can be extremely rewarding, but finding the right keywords, now that's where things can get a bit tricky, especially when running Amazon ads. Today, I'm going to show you the tricks I use for finding the right keywords. So stick around. Hey Right Writers, Keith Wheeler here, and if you want to continue to get all the hints, tips, and tricks on how to make self-publishing easier, then be sure to subscribe to the channel and smash the little bell icon so you get alerted each and every time I put out new videos. A viewer recently commented and asked, when advertising children's books, the keywords seem to be quite limited since we're all writing the same genre. Because of this, we'll all end up using the same generic terms. Can you show us how to find more specific keywords? Well, that's a great question, and I'm going to try to do my best. First and foremost, I don't want to give some hypothetical book to use for an example. I wanted to pick a children's picture book that many viewers would be familiar with. So I went back in my memory and I picked out the book that I honestly believe is the best example of just an all-around, well-designed and well-written story. And that story is Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Now, if you'd like to see a video where I explain how well constructed Goldilocks really is and how I feel it is the perfect overall story, even for people who write novels, well then just put hashtag tellme down in the comments. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to flip the screen around and I'm going to show you how I would find keywords to use for Amazon ads specifically for this book. Well, here we are in Amazon in incognito mode. First thing we're going to want to do is go down to the Kindle store, because for this particular instance, we're going to assume that we're running ads to our Kindle book. Obviously, if you plan on running ads to your paperback, then you're going to want to search the bookstore instead of the Kindle store. And as I said before, the book that we're going to be basing it on is Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So what kind of book is that? We're just going to write down that it is a picture book. And I have over here on the right hand side, kind of off screen, I have a little notepad that I'm just going to start jotting these particular keywords down as I find them. Now, one thing that I found also to be helpful is to take a screenshot. So we're going to do picture books, and here we go. Picture books for children's 4 to 6, 6 to 8, probably not for that particular book. For children, for kids, for 3-year-olds, for toddlers. We're going to want to stay away from words like free. And about race isn't relevant. We're going to take a screenshot of these and we're going to write these down in our little notepad. After we're done that, what's another way to say picture books? How about kids books? Let's see. Well, we got kids picture books. There you go. Kids story books 3 to 5. Kids books ages 2 to 4. Okay. So again, these are some we can really use. So we'll do kids picture books, kids story books ages 3 to 5. And kids books ages 2 to 4. Next, instead of doing kids books, we can do children's. Here we go, children's books. Well, again, with different age groups. Children's picture books. Let's click on this one. Kids books about. Okay, the kids' book's about bears. Okay, so we can do that. We're just going to copy and paste this. And as you can see over here, we're getting quite a bit of a list going on right now. And let's just do one more. It's also about opposites because they talk about hot, cold, hard, and soft. So let's do picture books about opposites. Okay, that really, let's just do books about opposites. See how that shows up. Books about opposites for kids. Here we go. Books about opposites for kids. Okay, so we can copy and paste that into our list. Okay, so that's the first part. That's the first thing you want to do. So the next thing is we're going to go to the actual book itself. So in your case, for your book, you're going to look up your book's sales page. For this one, we'll do Goldilocks. Okay, and let's just go with this first one. This is Kindle edition. So let's say this is your book. And again, you want to compare apples to apples. So you want to be on the Kindle version. and you're going to scroll down, and there's going to be a couple sections. There's going to be customers who read this also read. There may be a customers who bought this also bought. Also, people who viewed this also viewed. It may not necessarily have all those lists, but in this case we have customers who read also read. The sponsored ones you don't want to pay attention to, because again, those are just sponsored ads, which is what yours is going to be. Scrolling down, make sure there's no more lists. This is just more sponsored. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go back up to our also reads. And each of these books, as long as it pertains to your book, as long as it makes sense, which in this case it does, you're going to put each of these titles and author names also on your list. So the Three Little Pigs, Jack and the Beanstalk, Little Red Riding Hood, and so on. And as you can see, this has 9 pages. Like, obviously I'm not going to put this because it's the same book, or this, but there are quite a few that I can use as titles and the author as keywords in my keyword ad. Also, if it belongs to a series, you can use that entire series as another keyword in your ad. Now that's how you find them on Amazon. Next, we're going to head on over to Amazon Ads. Here we are on Amazon Ads, and this is going to be our part 2. So we're going to go in and we're going to create a campaign. We're going to do a sponsored product ad. Okay, so I've covered this in a previous video, so I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's not relevant right now, but you're going to go in, create your campaign, start and end date if you want to put an end date, your budget. You're going to want to do manual targeting, and then you're going to go in and pick your book and all that other stuff. I want to get to the part where we put in our keywords. So here we are putting in our keywords. First thing we want to do is we want to go in here and we want to change our custom bid to, I usually suggest about 13 to 15 cents. You want to change the default bid to the same thing, just because sometimes I've had it go above what I wanted. But when I change both the default as well as the custom bid, I haven't had that issue. So that's just what I do. I actually learned that from Brian Cohen. Really good when it comes to ads, knows what he's talking about. Okay, I'm going to stick with broad for this particular ad. And here's what we do. We want to go to and enter our list. And this is where you get the other keywords that you can put in your list. I have my little list right here, right here. And I'm just going to go through and I'm going to copy the first one in. And as you can see, it drops down an entire list of options. I'll click on add all keywords in this list, and it's just going to add it up to here. And then I can go through and delete the ones that aren't relevant. Now this one is actually one that's already on my list, so I'm going to take that out. 6 to 8, 9 to 12, these really don't pertain. That one's a good one. This doesn't pertain to this book. This one doesn't. We're not really doing paperbacks, so we're going to take that out. They don't like you using the word bestseller or anything like that, so I'm going to take that out. I put in one keyword phrase and already have 3. So add these keywords, and I'm going to go to the next one on my list. Picture book for kids. Let's click all. And not a hidden picture book, but yeah, let's try these. We'll add these. And as you can see, as I add these in, I'm getting more and more options. So obviously not DVD, it's not a toy. Well, here you go. Bedtime classics, never would have even thought of that. We're going to take out board book because that's not relevant. This one normally I would take out, but it sounds like that's actually a title of a book, so we're going to leave that one in. Okay, we'll add these keywords, and then let's do bedtime stories. And look at all these keywords that pop up. 6 to 12, probably not our age group for this book. Take out the DVDs. Everything else looks good. Okay, add keywords. And then you just go through your list And as you can see, the drop down will give you so many more options that you can choose from and ideas that you never even would have thought of. Again, that's how you can find keywords about picture books that are different than everybody else's. How easy was that? Basically, it's 2 steps. One, you use Amazon in incognito mode to find the keywords that you want to use that pertain to your book. And you look not just for the keywords, but also go to the book itself. Make sure you're doing it on the same type of book. So if you're going to run ads for the ebook, you look at ebook. If you're going to run it on the paperback, then you look at paperback. And you look at your also bots, your also reds, and books like that. And for Amazon ads, you can use those books, the author names, and even the series names. So keep those in mind. Now, obviously, you can make it a lot easier if you use Publisher Rocket. If you'd love to get a copy of that and help out the channel, you can go to kwheelerbooks.com/rocket. Now, obviously, it's not required, but it will save you a great deal of time. And if you get it using that link, it doesn't cost you any more money, but it does help out the channel. And once you do that, you go into the actual ads and you use the drop down to get even more ideas for keywords. And those will be a lot more specific. Okay, so now you've got your keywords for your ads. But what do you do after that? Well, check out this video right here and I will show you exactly how to run Amazon ads. Or you can check out this video that YouTube picked out just for you. I'll catch you in the next video, and remember to write right.